Good morning. How are you, everybody? I hope you're well. I am, well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't pretty damn chuffed and pleased right now. How do you like my office this morning? Isn't it gorgeous? There are happy people around. I can hear birds singing. I can see dog walkers with their dogs out and about. The sun is shining. It is warm. I have coffee. What else do I need? And I wanted to come online today and talk about positive thinking. Does positive thinking actually work? And the answer is yes and no. All right, I've cleared that up for everybody now, haven't I? Yeah? Perfect. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay. I will go into more detail. Right. I'm going to have a sip of coffee first. Positive thinking is amazing. I think positive thinking is one of the most powerful mindset exercises you can do. But there are ways in which to do it. There are ways that are effective. There are ways that are counterproductive at worst and just ineffective at best. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between these two. I'm going to start off with the positive thinking techniques that are counterproductive and or inefficient, and then I'll move on to methods and techniques that work much better, that have been studied and proven to work, and that I have personal experience of seeing working. And I might go into a little bit of airy-fairiness, shall we call it that? A bit of spirituality, a little bit of being one with the universe, which may or may not suit everybody. It semi-suits me. I call it different things. It kind of is the same stuff. But in terms of positive thinking, that doesn't work. High and lofty affirmations that you don't believe in don't work. Let's use my anxiety in shops as an example. I still experience anxiety when I go into shops, particularly supermarkets for some reason. Clothes shop are pretty bad as well. But for all that, and as I've mentioned in another vlog, my depression is very much better. I'm not quite ready to get off my antidepressants yet, but I'm feeling powerful and positive and capable and all of these things, and yet I still want to fall apart into a little puddle whenever I walk into a supermarket. Okay? And if I go around and I tell myself, I love shopping, that is not a helpful piece of positive thinking, because right now I know and I believe, I very firmly believe that I do not love shopping. Quite the opposite. So I can put up post-it notes all over my home saying I love shopping. I can sit and write the sentence I love shopping down 100 times in my bullet journal. It's not going to make any difference because I do not believe in it. And that's where positive thinking is not helpful. Any positive thinking that is accompanied by the word should or the words ought to are not really helpful either, because they are actually not positive thinking phrases. They are shame and blame phrases, believe it or not. Oh, I should manage to go shopping. Obviously said there with a rather angry tone of voice, so of course it's not, that's literally me telling myself off because I don't manage shopping very well. But, you know, even if I make it kinder, oh, I really should be able to go to a supermarket and not feel anxious. Oh, I ought to not be anxious whenever I'm in a supermarket. Yeah, but it's still a blame thing. I'm basically saying I know I am anxious when I'm in a supermarket and I'm not supposed to be, so really I ought to just pull myself together and stop being an idiot. Does that sound helpful to anybody? It isn't. It isn't. So when you're looking into positive thinking and a positive mindset, then you really need to take into account that how you phrase it and how high you set the bar will have an impact. So there are a lot. It just got very bright, didn't it? Let's see if we can fix this. I had everything in such a good place. Why am I doing this on a bright sunny day? Right, half of my face is in shadow, the other half is in light. I am basically the half-faced demon of death. Okay? All right, we good? Yes? Cool. I will lean forwards, but then I sound weird. Oh! Eee. This became so much more complicated than it needed to be. Oh, that's funny. Right, positive thinking. So what does work with positive thinking? Practice works, and changing your thoughts in incremental stages. So what do I mean with practice? I mean you need to teach your brain to look for the good things, to look for the positives. You can't just go around in your usual negative thought patterns and then expect to just feel good. You're not going to, sorry. And this is why I think that gratitude journaling is so important, and we can call it different things. And really what it is about is training your brain to see the positives. And you need to train your brain because unfortunately we have evolved to have a bit of a sour outlook on stuff. It's true. The humans who survived in early humanity were the humans who were rather skeptical about stuff, who saw the bad things, who remembered what the bad things were, and who were generally distrusting of anything new, anything unknown. They are the humans who survived. And because they are the humans who survived, they are the humans who procreated and had children. So they passed their genetics on, but they also taught their teachings on. Our brains have evolved to be constantly on the lookout for threats. We are hardwired to be suspicious. We have developed to be negative. Negativity bias or negativity brain bias is a real thing. So if you are a person who fears the unknown, who expects things to don't particularly go very well, to worry about tragedy and accidents, you are human. You are a perfectly normal, well-adapted, well-evolved human. Okay? It's just that nowadays, and particularly in the Western world, we don't face the kinds of threats that we faced at the dawn of humanity and early humanity stages. We don't have the threat of predators of killing us, at least not to the extent that we once had. We don't have the threat of starvation. We don't have the threat of extreme cold or extreme hot and no shelter. We don't have, well, I suppose we still have the threats of being swept away by currents and that kind of stuff. But, you know, in general, our lives are so much less dangerous. We certainly don't have the threats of thinking we're going to be poisoned at every turn of the way, because we now know which foods are safe. We buy our foods from the supermarket. They are generally not poisonous. Salmonella scare and Kinder eggs aside. But, you know, generally they're not poisonous. So all of these threats that we evolved to be able to identify and react to fast, they're not really here. But your brain doesn't get that. Your brain is still looking for these kinds of threats. So when you're not starving, when you're not freezing to death, when you're not face to face with a saber-toothed tiger, what you have instead is getting an email from your manager and kind of immediately going into, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. Yeah? You have the threat of, I don't know what's happening here right now and I feel really uncomfortable. You have the threat of, if I say what I want to my partner, they might get angry. You have the threat of, I don't know how my children's lives are going to turn out and I'm going to panic about everything because I can't control it. These are the threats we're facing today. And they're really not as extreme as what our brains are used to, but our brains still respond in an extreme way. So we have a negativity bias. We have evolved to think in a suspicious and negative manner. But if we do that too much, it brings our mental health down. It brings our moods down. And this is why I think positive thinking and practicing positive thinking is so important, because you can rewire your brain. You can teach your brain to not look for the bad stuff and instead teach your brain to look for the good stuff. This is something that I have been practicing for 25 years. And I'm going to keep practicing it my entire life, because I am human and falling back into the negativity bias is far too easy. This is not a one-time, one-fix-all and forever after happy. It doesn't work like that. We don't work like that. We have the whole range of human emotion, whether we want to or not. Okay? But at least I can manage my lows and I can manage my bad times, because I am so well practiced by now to look for the good, look for the opportunities, look for the positives. Back to my gratitude journaling. Write down the things that were good. Write down the stuff that's working out in your favor, however small it is. By writing it down, you are noticing it, you're cementing it in your head much more. Oh, I'm getting company. There's a little toddler coming running. This is fantastic. Definitely left the parents behind, exploring freedom. God, I love it. That is so beautiful. And a poor mummy running after with the baby. You've got this, don't worry. You needed exercise today, right? Oh, I love it. By the way, I'm one of these crazy people who talk to everybody. I'm an absolute extrovert, yeah. There are so many people who are so annoyed. Why are you talking to everybody? I just love everybody. Life's amazing. Where was I? Practicing positive thinking. Yes, I'm not talking about looking for the big, amazing, life-changing one-offs, because you're going to be looking for a while if you do that. It's the everyday little things. For me, it is the sound of the birds, the coffee, the sunlight, and the fact that I can sit here in this park and work for a few hours today. See how many positives I had just at the start of the day. My amusement of seeing a little toddler run past. Hello, buddy. That's a nice smile. That is a huge positive for me. A little guy running past and smiling at me. I mean, how stunning is that? None of this is huge. None of this is life-changing. It is just, well, it is life-changing, but it's life-changing because it builds up. And you need to do this every day. Every single day you need to look for these things, find these things. Yesterday a positive was progress I made in my merchandising development. And a beautifully lovely dinner that I cooked of things that I had at home, so I didn't have to go to the supermarket and get more ingredients. That was a huge positive yesterday. There are so many positives. The girls are back in school. Hallelujah! A wonderful interaction I had with a pharmacist yesterday. Even though the whole reason I was in the pharmacy was not positive, the interactions I had with the people there were positive. I could have focused on all the crap around the reason I had to be in the pharmacy yesterday, but I didn't bother. I didn't choose to. I chose to see the good stuff and the fact that we sorted everything out. I mean, I could be sitting here and complain about the crap on the ground. There's so many, like, these things are lying everywhere. I brought a blanket because I knew it wasn't going to be very comfortable just sitting on the ground. And I could be complaining about the bugs that are flying around here. I could have got irritated about being interrupted in my vlogging by that little toddler. But no, I'm not. I am just so happy and delighted of where I am right now. And I practice this every day. I practice focusing on the good things every day. And the more I do that, the more of a positive outlook I get. And the more of a positive outlook I get, the more I believe in positive thoughts about myself. It is all about how you choose to think. It is all about what you choose to focus on. It is not things, external things that are happening to you. It's how you choose to look at them. That is what matters. And that is why you have to keep practicing and you have to keep looking for it. Morning. You right?
Not too bad, you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. I'm enjoying this.
Good.